Well, howdy there, folks. This is Dreamtime with Jesse, episode number 6, and I'm your host, Jesse Ariano, Makwawit Man, Makahuidal Man, however you want to say it, as long as you say it. Now, today's episode is called Goblin Noir, and I'm also gonna give you like a little tidbit from another dream I had. Now, the first dream doesn't really have a lot of background because it doesn't really have a lot to do with my actual life. So, let's just get into it, alright? Let me set the scene for you. So, the camera is in first person point of view, and everything is black and white. I'm in a dark hallway, and at the end of the hall, there's a door, and it's just barely open, and you can see that from within the room, there's a light. So, obviously, I walk to that door because it's the only light in the whole place, and I open it, and inside of that room, there's an office, I guess you could say. It reminds me an awful lot of those detectives' offices from like any one of those old-timey crime films. And on the right side of the room, there's a desk with a lamp on it, and that lamp is the only light in the whole room. So the left side of the room is pretty much, it's real dark. Can't really see what's in there. On the desk, though, there's a folder, and I don't know how I know this, but I guess it just fits the theme. But I know that within that folder, there are some kind of important files. 'Cause there's always important files in a folder on a desk, right? So I walk into the office and I pick up those files, and as I do, the camera switches over to third person point of view now from the dark side of the room, and it's kind of looking up at me a bit, you know? And as I'm reading whatever is in this folder, my facial expression changes, and you can tell that I've just realized something really important. Like, whatever the hell is in here has just, like, made all the pieces of my puzzle finally fit together. And just as that happens, the camera switches over to the opposite side of the room, still in third person though. And it's kind of where you would imagine the lamp would be. And it is looking like at me, but it's also looking past me at the dark side of the room. And from the shadows of the dark side of the room come a bunch of little blue goblins, which is, kind of strange considering up until now everything was black and white. And here's where it gets kind of Wizard of Oz. As soon as I make contact with the goblins, I start to see things change color. And the goblins are pretty small. When I say little, I mean they're only like maybe a foot and a half. And these little guys are like trying to climb me. And it's one of those dreams where you could really feel it. Like I can feel little clawed hands trying to get up. But I grabbed the lamp off of the desk, so now it's pretty dark. And like I'm beating the shit out of these little goblins. And you can still see, because there's light coming in through the windows, just not a whole lot. And eventually, so many of these little fucking dudes come and overtake me. And like the camera goes back to my point of view, and there's so many damn goblins on me, I can't see anything. You can just feel them moving around on you, taking bites and scratches and whatnot. And presumably, that was the day that I got eaten by goblins. Now, you gotta ask yourself, what the hell was in those files? Who put those goblins there? Also, why? Why goblins? Why not, like, I don't know, a troll, like a big one? You know, it's always worse when you gotta fight off a bunch of little ones. It's easier when it's just a big one. At least that's my opinion on it. Anyways, that was the end of the first dream. The main course, if you will. Now here's dessert. So this one's gonna need a little bit of background. I'm not gonna give you, like, all the deets, but, here goes. So, I was talking to a coworker one day, and I don't know how we got onto this topic, but we ended up talking about what kind of ladies it was that I liked. And I had a pretty quick answer because, you know, I've got a crush on this, I've got a secret crush. It's not so secret now, but it is if you keep it. I trust in you to keep my secret. Anyways, so I got a semi-secret crush on this semi-famous lady. She's also a pretty good singer. Anyway, so I tell him this lady's name, and obviously he don't know who that is. Because I didn't know who that was up until like a few years ago, I think. And he looks her up, and as soon as he sees her picture, he's like, oh yeah, that's a really pretty lady. And now that I've got her on my mind, that night I go home and I have a dream about her. Now, before I tell you the dream, I gotta say a few things. First and foremost, you gotta understand that, to me, this lady, this actress, singer lady, is like, if I had the choice to pick any lady on good old Terra Prime to be my lady, it would probably be that lady. At least appearance-wise, you know, because I don't actually, like, know her. But if by some miracle I was to actually become a pretty famous artist, and this lady decided to give me the time of day, and it turned out that we actually, like, you know, hit it off, I guess you could say, then that would be the lady I would choose. Because I don't want to be one of them guys who just, like, dates a lady because she's, like, really pretty or whatever. I don't want to feel like that kid from Freaks and Geeks, Sam, you remember? I don't know if you've seen it, but this kid, he's got the hots for like a really pretty girl, but once he actually starts to date her, he realizes they don't have anything in common, so it just doesn't work out. Anyway, what was I saying again? Oh, another thing I gotta tell you is that in a lot of Native American cultures, it's a pretty common thing that married men and women, like, help each other do their hair stuff, you know? Like, it's pretty common to see them braiding each other's hair and things like that. And to me, that's a really intimate kind of thing, you know? You know that joke about, does this mean we're going steady? Well, for me, the hair stuff means we're going steady. You know? So, let's get into the dream now that I've given you all the background that you need. I'm kneeling on the floor of a restroom, and this famous lady I've got a crush on is giving me a haircut. I always have to kneel when I'm getting haircuts because I'm, like, pretty tall. Well, at least for the people that I'm normally around. So, yeah, anyway. She's giving me a haircut, and, presumably she's having a pretty good time, you know, because I'm, like, telling her some kind of story, and she's laughing, and, you know, you can tell she's, you know, enjoying herself. And apparently she's having too good of a time, because eventually I feel that, like, she shaves off more hair than I intended for her to shave. And she says, oh no, and, like, I shit you not, I can feel like, you know that sick feeling you get in your gut when you know something bad has just happened? No, I don't actually say anything out loud because I don't want to make her feel bad. I mean, really, at the end of the day, I can shave off my good medicine today and it'll grow back in, like, it won't be that long, right? That was kind of like a question to myself. I was like, right? Anyway, so there are two things I could think that I could do. First and foremost, I could try and have her salvage that somehow, but I was pretty sure that it was unsalvageable. So I turn around and I tell her, "Alright, honey, it's time to go big or go home. Shave it all off." And we had a good laugh, and she shaves it off, and we keep talking about stuff, and it goes good. Uh, yeah, for me that was like a really pleasant dream because most of my dreams involve me getting harmed in some kind of way, and like as much of a quote unquote macho man that I am, I I also enjoy not getting physically harmed. you know, every now and again I like to be, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what I'm trying to say. Point is, I like to be, like a normal person. If you can believe that. Well, there you have it, folks. That's all I got for you today. As always, thanks for listening, and yeah, see you next time. Y'all take care of yourselves now. Peace.